I'm hoping this one works. I hope it is back. I'm just testing it out, guys. Welcome in, everyone. We're just oh, bless me. Oh, fuck. Welcome in, Papa Kupai. How are you doing? Welcome in, everyone. Sorry, I went to go get a haircut. I went to go do some stuff. I was annoyed by the fetuses. I was like, I don't want the fetuses in here. The fetuses can stay in the comments, you know? I don't want them up here with me in the cool place. Wait, is anyone willing? You don't have to say anything. I just have to, make sure that, I can use my guest boxes. Is anyone willing to just, test that for me? And just, request really quickly so then I can see if my powers are working? If not, that's fine. I don't mind. But, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, somebody's accepted. Oh, cool. Okay. Shit, that works. Yo, Tristan, welcome back.
Don't make me cook you, bro.
What did you say?
I said, don't make me cook you.
Don't make me. Are you trying to? What are you trying to cook me on? You gonna broil me, slow cook, what?
Well, I start off with a slow pan sear,
Oh
and I let it
shit!
get to temperature. I let the Maillard reaction occur by
Oh,
leading you
yo,
with
you
my
got
little
deglaze the.
metaphysical leash down whatever fucking hallway I choose.
Do you deglaze the pan after?
No, the glaze is self-producing because of how much I fucking roast you.
Are you gonna fucking glaze it?
You forgot the GL part.
No, 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 no. Keep going.
Holy fuck. I'm glad I could do you the honor of testing your.
Man,
I'm the technician. That's what you will address me from now on.
I'm gonna call you the engineer.
Engineer. Yeah.
Yeah, one above technician.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
are you saying that because you remember me saying I'm an engineer?
I have a very good memory.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, you're the dog. Why is can everyone stop being political in the comments down below? Yes, I get it. I won the election.
Valid.
That's something different. Anyway, yeah, thanks for
Valid.
testing that out, man. Appreciate you coming up and just letting me see if that worked. It does. Everything. Wait, what? Oh, you fucking asshole. Not you. Nothing's working on my end again. Guys,
Oh, what happened?
I'm not able to actually use any of my ability to kick people.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that's kind of dangerous if I need to
So I
just
can
get
say literally
shut
any
the fuck
slur,
up right now.
whatever I want, with no repercussions.
No.
Later, bitch.
Thank you for coming up, Christian. Fuck, Tristan. Fuck. I'm so mad. Why is that not working? Let's see. Okay, wait. Okay, something's working again. Why is that turn on and turn off so randomly? That's just weird. I hope my fucking. Anyways, we're gonna go do a very interesting debate, if I'm gonna be very honest, because if this is working, then we're gonna do this debate, because I did ask my agency if I can do this, and they haven't gotten back to me. So we're gonna fucking figure this shit out. Final. We're on the 48 win streak, 40-day win streak, everyone. So welcome in. Let's debate. We're just looking for anybody above the age of 18. If you're under the age of 18, you will stay in the comments down below. What the? This one's interesting. Oh. Bro, I'm about to spit! No, you're not. Suck it back in like a llama. Anyways, being gay is... Yeah, facts. There's nothing wrong with it. You cannot prove that being anything in this case is bad. You can't prove that being... I'm trying to work around... You can't prove that being G is wrong. You just can't. I'm trying to work with the TikTok guidelines here as much as I can. Only acceptable if it's a boy! I'm glad that you like boys, Fist. I'm really glad you like boys a lot. I'm really glad. It's not wrong. It's just facts. Like, I don't think there's anything like weird about it either. But like, weirds are going to be subjective, and your experience is then going to detail that. Like, whatever you say is weird, but weirds don't make wrongs, like you said. So yeah, I mean, like, what you find correct, haircut and Kea. Yeah, I guess I got a haircut recently. It's against your religion. Thank you, Mason. That is like the most fucking. Why did they just like update TikTok really badly? Like, why is this happening? What the hell is happening right now? I love the TikTok shop. I love the TikTok shop. I love the TikTok shop. TikTok shop. Everyone can buy brands. Buy brands. Yeah, that's not. So then why did God create the prostate? So under your condition, there is a necessary need in the case of homo-affectionate acts and homoerotic acts because God intended for the prostate to be still able to be stimulated or massaged in a way that still produced some form of life. Got it. So you're fine with being gay still. That's still doesn't change the subject. How are you, goat? Like, haven't been in a minute. How are you, goat? Oh, I was bananaed for a little bit, and now we're back. And now we have an agency, and so we're working on that. And I've messaged my agency if I can do this live, and if they're going to be, like, able to fucking protect me. But they have not answered, and so let's just hope for the best, I guess. It's known condition! You can't help conditions! That can't be medicated! I can't tell if that person's like for it or against it or severely out of hope. Yeah, I hope so. Thank you so much, Leia. I appreciate every single one of you for giving me the good wishes. But right now, for you, Leia, thank you so much. Honestly, I'm I'm eternally thankful that you exist. Prove to me you're not suppressing the truth. And what does that mean? What the fuck? What? How am I suppressing the truth? By talking about the truth? What? Were you part of the short bus? No. Were you? How do you know it exists if you weren't part of it? That's my real question, honestly. How's it wrong? There's nothing wrong with it. There's literally nothing wrong with being G. Everything is G about being G. Like, G is just G. Like, nothing wrong with it. I'm on the toilet stinking up my bathroom. I'm on the toilet stinking up my bathroom. Is it weird that I'm being conditioned? Guys, you've conditioned me. Whenever anytime I want to talk, I want to get really political. In ancient Greece, it was adults with little bees. Nowadays, it's often older men with older men. Yeah, so like, again, there's nothing wrong with two consenting adults, right? Your song is so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're hombreing again. We are absolutely hombreing. We're back. We're hombreing. We're hombreing all the way. I should get a mod in here, actually. I can either send it to Skirm. Derm. Germ. Oh my god, I need a mod. I need a mod. I'm modding. Also, 8, as long as it's consenting adults. Facts. As long as two parties are consenting and of ability to not have a power struggle over one another, then there's nothing wrong. As long as nobody's harming another person, then it seems pretty fine by those means. What's your religion? What's your religion? What? Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong. Wait, sorry. I started thinking about, like, piss punk. Anyway, welcome in, everyone. Please tap that screen if you can so we can increase the algorithm and get some cool, often funny debates, because whenever a homophobe comes in here... I just talked to my brother, actually. It was so fucking funny to me. I was telling him about leftist politics, and I was like, why do you have such emotionally driven rhetoric? And he was just like, if you ever say that again to me, I will punch you in the fucking face. I was like, okay. Why did you bring up politics? And he just was like, I'm going now. Don't you love family? Family's always got your fucking fist. Anyway, do you have pets? What's the gender of your pets? I think the gender is unconclusive, but I think that we assign that they are male. Sorry, they're men. However, I don't. They're like their biological sex would be XY chromosome or whatever chromosomes dog have that represent them to be. I think it is just an extra Y chromosome. I have two XY chromosome dogs, but that yeah, we assign them to be male because I mean men. Sorry, fuck, I keep fucking that up. Sorry, we assign them to be men because I don't know gender. I love how no one is saying being. Yeah, actually, the first time that's nobody said it's wrong. That's actually really based. I'm actually really happy about that. The first time that I've actually been in here for longer than 6 minutes without anyone being like, "It's bad! Stop it! You're gonna make me quit!" Like I love that. I love. I have had people say if I continue this rhetoric, it will make them queer, and that's a funny one. Because nobody cares. Absolutely nobody cares. We're not bringing him back from El Salvador. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't have said that. That's a little bit too unhinged in my opinion. Thank you so much for the likes. Keep tapping that screen, please and thank you. Hello. Nothing wrong with me. Thank you so much for the fucking follow. I appreciate every single one of my follows. When you follow me, I'm deeply, deeply, deeply indebted to you because I don't deserve anything from you. But somehow you gave me something, and I need to cherish it. Thank you. Your voice's impression or awesome. So thank you so much, DC King. I love all my followers. My followers make me feel like I'm like the sorry, Sigma. We're not making cheese. We're just looking for some. This live is so alpha. Thank you so much. I try my best to represent like the first letter of the Greek alphabet usually. Like what? Lerm like what? He's talking facts. Facts. Thank you so much for the follow. You got a new follow. Yeah! We love getting follows. We love getting follows, especially when we're near to 3K in our abilities, because once we get to 3K, then whoa, what will we go to next? You seem cool. I'm gonna follow. If we get another follow in the next 35 seconds, I'm literally gonna I'm gonna go gaga on that. I'm low-key from my HBS facts, whatever that, I don't know what that be. I don't want to. Hi, my puppy. What? I've never been referred to as a puppy. People just. I already followed. Yeah, we got the follower. Hello, Ian. How old are you?
I'm 18, but I ain't gonna lie, bro.
What year were you born? What year were you born?
2006, December.
Why can't you fetuses do math? Is it like, I feel like there was genes that gave you the ability to do basic math, right? And some of them might have been, I'm not saying that there's a gay gene, but like maybe some of them were the ones that made you better at math. Maybe some of them. He said he was 18. He said he was 18. I was like, wait, what? Oh, September 2006. I'm 18. December 2006. I was wrong. I gotta admit that one. That was my bad. I got too used to it. I'm wrong. I take the L. I have to take the L, guys. I gotta take the L. That's it. I'm so sorry, guys. I gotta take the L. Bang. I took that fucking L. That was hard. That was damn, guys. I took the L. I have to admit to the L on that one. I'm a little rusty. That was bad. I'll take the L on that one. Willingly. Thank you for offering me that L. Hello, how old are you?
I'm 21.
What year were you born?
2004.
Yeah, okay. So can you prove to me that this is wrong?
That being gay is wrong?
Yeah, can you prove that?
Nah, bro, just be happy with yourself.
Thanks for coming up. We're just looking for debates. I'm gonna let Ian back up here because I gotta apologize. I gotta say that was my bad. I did the math wrong on that one.
Whoever saying my voice is forced, shut your bitch ass up before I slap you with a Tootsie Roll. Anyway,
I deserve that. I did deserve that.
yeah, you dumb as hell. You can't do math for shit. Anyway, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like P. Diddy with fur.
Okay. I didn't deserve all that. That was a little step. Honestly, that was a war crime at that point. Anyway.
Hello,
Hello, Jenny. How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born?
Hello, can you hear me? 2006.
2006. What month?
In February?
Based. Yeah, can you prove to me that being gay is wrong?
Yeah, being gay is wrong because God made a boy for a woman and a woman for a boy.
Okay. And so you believe in God? Which God do you believe in?
Yes,
Yeah, which God do you believe in?
I believe in Jesus, but like the thing is, this life is a test.
Are
This,
you a Christian?
I don't,
Okay.
yes,
That's
I'm
fine.
Christian.
Yeah, can you prove to me that the Christian God exists, that his testimony alone is what you actually base your belief of being gay is wrong, evidence-wise? Can you give me that? And also, you have to provide me evidence that your subjective position of God is the one that's real. Can you do that?
Do you not believe in God?
No, you have to prove to me that God exists and your God specifically exists, as well as his testimony that being gay is wrong.
So, who created you?
My parents.
So, who put the baby inside of you?
What?
Okay, sorry, that's like, okay. Who created the earth? Who created the ocean?
How do you know it was a
created-
who? Can you prove to me that it was a who that created the earth?
Yeah, because God created the earth. No one was here before him.
Okay, so God created the earth. So did God create everything?
Yes.
Okay, so everything needs a creator to exist, right?
Yeah, like cars
So
need
then
a
what
person
created
to
God?
create. Huh?
Who created God?
They're like no one created God. He was
Okay, wait,
always
why are
there.
you making an exception for that? But you just admitted that everything was created.
Yeah, everything was created. Like you need someone to create a fridge or something like that. But for a person, for like an ocean and insane shit like that, you need God.
Okay, then what created God? Again, we just went like in a huge circle.
Yeah, nope. There is no story about God. He was always there.
Okay, so he's infinite. So there was never a beginning then. Okay.
No, there wasn't. Earth was always here, and God decided to put humans on here.
Okay, so there is no beginning, so that's just an infinite contingency?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that means that you don't actually know if the Bible is correct because there's already a contextual or error within the Bible saying that there is a beginning, but if there is infinite, the context and the concept of infinite is there cannot be a beginning or an end. So that would actually this would completely throw out your argument that God said that being gay is wrong.
Spread the gospel and try to be into girls.
What? I am into girls. Well, not girls. I'm into women. I like women, but okay. I didn't even drop them. Thank you so much for the gift, by the way. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for the likes, everyone. Much love, much appreciation. Chat, we're just going to go on to the next debate. That was in...
Yo.
Hello.
Alright,
How old are you?
cool. So what's the question? Prove to me being gay is wrong. Okay,
How
can I ask you a question?
How old are you? What year were you born?
2004,
Yeah, how old would that make you?
21,
And what month?
February 13th.
Base. Okay, yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, can you prove to me that being gay is wrong?
So I've got a high voice. Huh? Pardon?
Can you prove to me, like, can you give me your argument?
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask a question first, if that's all right with you. How is being gay okay in general?
Okay, so, like, when you say okay, do you mean, like, a neutral? Or do you mean, like, something being good?
Like, is it okay to be gay in your eyes, and why is it okay? Is my
Yeah,
question.
because I think it's just a fundamental part of biology. It just exists the same way that some things do just exist in the universe. Like, for example. We don't know why gravity exists when mass is all together with also other aspects of physics, but like we just know that it's a part of the universe, the same way that I think that being gay is just a part of biology. It's just a neutral factor that exists, but we can analyze and understand it.
What? So you just proved being gay to the same as gravity.
No, I said that being gay is a contingency factor like physics. Physics exists alongside other elements within the universe, like gravity, right? Same way that biology has a consistency with there being homoaffectionate and homoerotic acts.
Right.
Like, I can't question if gravity does or doesn't exist. I know it already does. The same way that I know that biologically human beings can be homoaffectionate and homoerotic. It just is. And that's why it's okay, because it's just a part of biology. Why did he leave? What? I didn't even drop. I'm not even dropping people. What the fuck? What? Hello, Ray. How old?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay,
July.
bye. You go. You go. No fetuses. If you're above the age of 18, then you can come up here. If you're under the age of 18, please stay in the comments down below and be respectful. Hey, V, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Wait, you're Christian?
No, I'm 19.
Christian.
Hold on.
Is this just Christian?
Nah, I said I'm 19.
This is just Christian, isn't it?
I'm not 19. I'm not Christian, bro.
You are.
Bro, I literally said I'm 19. What are you talking about, bro?
Maybe you just have a very similar voice to another one of my followers. Maybe.
What?
This is definitely Christian. I love. That literally made my brain go like, wait a second, that was Christian. Okay, hey Riker, how old are you? Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything. It's okay. I know babies can't speak, so that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh wait, I know that person's a kid. If you're under the okay, maybe what? That sounded like
Hello,
Christian.
my friend.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
Based. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Can you prove to me that being gay is wrong?
So, all right. Are you gay?
I mean, like, can you tell me what the relevancy of that question would be?
So it's leading onto my point as to why being gay is wrong. So are you gay?
Yeah, and what would that like lead to? Like, can you give me like the entirety of your what you're trying to?
So if you were to say that you were gay, then my next question would be, why are you gay?
Why are you running? Why are you running? What the fuck, man? We're just looking for some debates, everyone. You know what? I'll let V up here one more time. I want to hear that voice. I want to hear that.
It's Christian, bro.
It was?
Who is Christian?
I fucking knew it! I fucking knew it was Christian! I was so fucking sure! That was... Oh my god. My fucking sixth sense never get... Oh, dog, thank you so much for the follows. Thank you so much for the likes. God damn. We're just looking for some debate. That was fucking Christian! I knew it was Christian! I knew it was Christian! That was crazy, honestly. We're locked in, honestly. We're locked in. Hello. Hello, how old are you?
Hey, I'm 18. I'm just here to agree with you. I just want to say something to the people that are bringing religion into it. Religion isn't a valid thing to say whether or not something's right or wrong based off of religion, because there's multiple types of religions, and a lot of things that are in, like, for example, the Bible are morally incorrect and are what we would consider morally incorrect. So I don't think just like saying based off of things like the Bible and stuff like that, you can say something is wrong, because not everybody goes off of that in their life, and there's a whole bunch of different paths that go into that.
Yeah, based. Like everything is going to be subjective and up to the
Yeah.
individual interpretation.
If we're talking about like if it's morally wrong, I think it's morally right. Like I think there's nothing wrong with it because you're not hurting anybody.
Facts. Like two consenting adults can agree to have like whatever acts that they want as long as there's no like harm or suffering that undue to them. Facts. Thanks for coming up, Facts.
Yeah.
Appreciate
And
it.
also, one more thing, scientifically, in nature and stuff, that type of stuff is in nature as well. Like naturally,
There's
it occurs.
1,500 species that perform homoaffection and homoerotic acts. Thanks so much
Yeah.
for coming up, man.
I'm
Appreciate
just
it.
like,
Thank you so much. We're just looking for some debates, though. We're just looking for some debates, man. We're just looking for some debates. Can we just get some debates, man? Hello, Pixie. How old are you?
Hello.
Hello. How
19.
old are you? You're 19? What year were you born?
Yeah, 2006.
Based. Okay. Yeah, can you prove to me that this is wrong?
All right, so you say it's okay because of two consenting adults, right? That causes like no harm or suffering.
Yeah, I'm waiting for, like, is that your
Alright.
argument? Is that it just does cause?
So what would you say to like if they're committing like incest?
Ingest? Oh, okay. Yeah, so like I don't agree with ingest if that's what you're asking, but fundamentally if they're not capable of affecting the gene pool, then I don't think that there's going to be they'll have their own perception of it, but I'll still find it morally egregious.
Why?
Because I just find it kind of to be, especially in the fact of ingest between siblings, it's going to cause power dynamics because you're not going to have two people who are always going to be the same age, which can actually cause that power struggle.
But like if those weren't like in
Well, now
your
see,
consideration.
like I said, it comes to circumstance, right? Everything is going to be around circumstance. Do I have the right to authorize whether they do that or not? I don't know. I can only disagree with it because I think that it's like I said, it's an egregious act because they're siblings. However, I only have that perception based off my own morality and my perception of what people should and shouldn't do. I think there's like a level of perversion there that I think is just erroneous. That's
Okay.
only from my own perspective.
Sorry, I don't disagree. I just wanted to know what your response was.
Yeah, no problem. But like, yeah, okay. But like, it's gonna come down to like circumstance, and that's it. But I'm gonna heavily disagree with ingest. W lesbians, facts. Hello, Dot. How old are you? Okay. Everyone.
Well.
So advertise it.
Don't.
Advertise it.
Hey guys, I'm the D1 bug unaliver. If you want to see some bugs get unalived, go come give me a follow and shit.
You want to see bugs get squashed? Go fucking follow this guy right now. I'll give
10
everyone 10
likes.
seconds. 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think this is the live for it. I don't think this is the
There's
live.
120 people in here. I better have at least 2.
Oh, well, you got 1.
Hey, shout out that one person. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
kill
you got
bugs.
2. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kill bugs later.
Everyone, he just no scoped a scorpion with a fucking Lysol box. If you ever want to go see that, if you want.
I'm about to blow up my house.
What the fuck? Okay, I'm drunk.
Killing all the bugs.
Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for him to say he's gonna do that. Anyway, we're just looking for some debates, everyone. If you're above the age of 18, thank you for the D1 bug inspector. Oh, okay. Can you get that? Can you get that? Anyway, we're just looking for some debates, everyone. If we're just hello, Brandon. How old are you?
Hello.
Okay. Anyway, Porto, how old are you? Hello? Okay. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. If we can get some like cool, awesome, amazing. Yo, not Cam, how old are you?
14.
Okay. Fetus deletus.
Hello.
Hello, how old are you?
You can tell by my.
I could tell. I didn't look, but then like the more my brain recognized, I was like, "That's a baby. That's just a little baby." Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in. We're just looking for some absolutely cool, insane debates. There's nothing wrong with being G. Everything is G with being. Okay. It looks like we're just like doing a little bit of daycare right now. Everyone, we're just looking past. We're trying to. The daycare is in the comments down below. If you're under the age of 18, then please stay in the comments down below. Please and thank you. That's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. Please and everyone, please. We're building a wall. If you are younger than 18, I don't want to talk to you. Can you get that? Can you? Hello, Turtle. How old are
you? 18.
What year were you born?
2006.
What month?
June 2nd.
Okay. Yeah. Why did you go, Come on.
No reason?
No reason? You mean maybe the potential that you're lying?
No. Can I ask you a question?
God. I'm so fucking suspicious of you right now, dog. So I'm even you're laughing now. Now I'm not even sure.
No, it's because you're laughing. You think I'm lying. It's funny.
Okay. Okay.
It might be a little personal. You don't have to answer, but are you asking this like, are you gay yourself? Like,
I'm not gay myself. No, I'm just an
okay. What are your like views on Christianity?
I don't believe in God, but I'm not anti-theist. I think you can have like responsible Christians who believe in like morally just things and claims, especially like I think Western civilization has a lot of morally just claims that are very humanitarian-like, especially Christians who do humanitarian work. I'm not anti-Christian by any means, but I don't believe in religion myself. I don't think people should force the religion onto other people as well.
Yeah, I get that. For me, I just see religion as like just a place on where you are and like what you view. I would more say, like in my personal belief, like I'm just a follower of Christ. I don't necessarily have a big denomination, and I follow that. I tend to follow Christ more. But the reason I believe being gay is wrong is because in my scripture in the Bible, it's tells us like what God created Adam and Eve for, and like a woman and man for. They created a woman and man to date and to have sexual relations between themselves, not between.
Well, that's not
man
true.
and
It doesn't indicate. It doesn't indicate intercourse is good between a man and a woman either. It just says that you believe in procreation. Intercourse is going to still be fundamentally morally bad in the Christian worldview because you're not supposed to have the pleasures of the flesh. That's considered not virtuous. So even intercourse between a man and a woman is still bad if it doesn't create life.
Yeah, you can have that view.
No, that's not a view. That's in the Bible.
think,
like it does argue the virtue.
I believe that for sure. That's a more thing of before marriage. After marriage, I think that is
that's
okay
for everything. Only the intercourse is only intended for procreation alone in the Bible.
Okay, so you're saying like
not supposed to have
they're wearing. Okay, I see what you mean, but like I'm not really talking about that.
But that would be the limitation. Like you're saying that. Thank you so much for the. Holy shit! What the? Thank you so much for the fucking big gift. Holy shit! What
Thanks
the
for
fuck?
The whale, bro.
Yo, What the fuck? Thank you so much. I don't. What the fuck? I'm so sorry, Turtle. I'm
No,
so
yeah,
sorry.
you're good.
I don't know what to say. I just holy shit. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thanks for the well,
much.
guys.
What the fuck? That was like the biggest gift. Well, that's not the biggest gift, but that is like the biggest gift I've gotten in a year. Holy shit. Thank you. Holy fuck. Thank you so much, the Blesser. I have nothing else. I thank you. I appreciate the gift. But yeah, like Turtle again. That like I can give you the exact scripture where it says the pleasures of the flesh are bad.
Okay, so my thing is, like, I wasn't necessarily talking. I guess I would say I was talking about sex, but I wasn't talking about like whether or not the intention is to have a baby. I was more talking about the fact that it was intended to have like a woman and a man to have sex. Yes, with the thought of procreation,
Yeah,
but
I
you
can
can't get
only
him.
agree with that because
Can
to make a baby, you do have to have both sets of gametes to actually make a baby. But there's
Yes.
still nothing stopping a gay man and a gay woman from still having intercourse and then still proceeding to make a baby. Like there's nothing stopping a gay man and a gay woman from procreating and making a baby.
Yes, but
right.
If you're saying you're gay and then having intercourse with a woman, if you're a man in this case, then you're not.
But
Or
there
I mean, that would more be.
virtuous couples, I assume, within who are gay who don't believe
Wouldn't
in
that be
pleasures of flesh.
I'm not
believe in their own
very
companionship. I think it's called like something like philadelphia or something like that, where it's like when two gay individuals, a gay man or a gay woman, often will like two sets of gay men and gay women will often like stay away from having any type of intercourse, and they'll just kind of just be companions to one another in life. So you'd still think, would you say, as long as they're not like going forward to the pleasures of the flesh, then being gay wouldn't be wrong?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if we're talking about, I mean, we're just talking about in the Bible, my Bible, it tells us that a man is meant for a woman and a woman is meant for a man. I didn't know. I guess you can say I was talking about sexuality and like just like intercourse in general, but like I was more widespreading it is a man was meant for a woman, not just for intercourse, but for both, like just being together, if you want to say like a couple or whatever you want to call a relationship. Also, I just think personally, like, yes, a man can't get another man pregnant. So you're not having the intention to procreate. That is a sin because you know you can't procreate. You know you can't make a child.
Yeah.
A man
like,
can't make a child with another man.
And that's going to be like in a subjective point of view of like what you believe, of course. So like, like for you to be able to prove that being gay is wrong to me, you'll have to prove me that your God exists, your Christian values are correct, everything about that. And yeah, but like if you can't do that, then I don't still think being gay is wrong. But like I can only argue that you're like
so you're saying you can't.
Comes from a place of just like you don't believe it's good, but you wouldn't tell other people not to do it.
I'm not gonna say like you can't date another guy to be on that point. Like I can't really say that. That's your own choice. But you're saying that since you don't believe in God, you're not gonna believe in any of my points. Like and
yeah,
you're not
because
gonna...
like I have my own moral standards, right? And I think one of those moral standards is allowing that biology is just based in the fact of natural.
Well, where do your morals come from? To have morals, you're gonna have to have something that bases on your morals.
Yeah.
And my God, he gives me like the fact that you get guilty after you do something bad, that has to come from something. It can't just come from nothing.
My morals personally are grounded in consequential intuitiveness. I can base my arguments of what is going to be bad under the guides of what suffering can cause harm to what people, right? I can use the basic fact that I have a nervous system. Most people have a nervous system, and that's going to cause unjust harm if we mistreat it. And so I can say our biology alone is what gives us the fundamental ability to understand suffering and to limit suffering. I feel like is morally good.
Okay, I understand that.
My morality.
But so you think, let's just say, like, if everybody didn't believe in God, if there was no God, we'd still all have morals. We still
Guarantee
all
it,
have.
because like even though you can't prove God exists to me, you still have the ability to sense morality, even if a God didn't exist. Like, let's say, like, I'm not saying you don't think God exists, but I'm saying that you, like, if God doesn't exist, you still have a moral grounding because humanity made the concept of God, made religion, and made moral backing off of that. You'd still have those morals, correct? Even if God didn't exist, you'd still have the religion.
No, not really, because the reason we have the religion is because what I believe, and this is because I have proof. We had Jesus for 33 years. People wrote the Bible because our God told them to, and they
I
saw
think you're
things, they saw
misinterpreting what I'm
miracles.
saying. I'm saying that because beings believe there's a God, it gives them the justification to understand morality through God, right? So even if God doesn't exist, human beings still have the belief that gives them morality. So even
How
without
can
a
a belief
God,
give us morality? How can a simple belief give us morality?
the same way that your belief gives you morality right now, you only have faith. You don't have proof that God exists.
Well, my belief is through miracles I've seen happen and go along in my life, and things that I can say that I've seen that I have no explanation for other than there is a God. And tell me why, like, for example, like this might not happen to everybody, but when I open my Bible, I'm having a hard day and I'm just like, I just ask my Lord to like give me a page, and then I open a random page and that's the exact thing I'm looking for.
Like you
Or
said,
you can
that's
go,
only happening. You said not, maybe this doesn't happen to everyone. So you're also applying a subjective experience there, which makes that anecdotal. Your experience doesn't find true because we don't have a lot of evidence that your subjective experience can be shared unless we are able to positively put data into that. However, I'll say that a lot of people do have faith, and faith doesn't have fact, it just is belief. The reason that a lot of people have benefits from religion or have some type of pseudo effect of emotional sense or stability from it is because of religion. Because that belief or that faith allows them to occupy something in their brain that makes them feel good, right? It's the same way that, like, me believing that limiting suffering is going to be good. It just feels right. And so I can't say that your God exists over another God, or I can't say that I can prove that completely God doesn't exist, but I can say that your anecdotal evidence can be very easily dismissed as being only personal. And your personal experience isn't going to be complete fact.
okay, well, let's not talk about my personal experience. Let's talk about the multiple people that saw Jesus get crucified and then come back from the
Yeah, can you
dead
give me a firsthand?
3 days.
Can you give me a firsthand account of Jesus, like a proven,
What do you mean by
substantiated claim? So, like, I'm looking for like a firsthand
the
historical
Bible?
account. No, because the Bible is
The Bible.
what produces the belief of Jesus. I'm looking for an actual person who substantiates the existence of Jesus, like an actual historical figure that we have multiple sources of documentation of. There's no firsthand
Jesus
account.
Christ is our.
No, there's no firsthand account of Jesus. There's no historical account of Jesus. There's a historical perception of Jesus, but there's no firsthand account of his of him being ever perceived or being documented.
Literally, the Bible is the
No,
not
the Bible
perceived.
is what talks about Jesus. To say that's like me
The
saying,
Bible tells the story, yes, but the Bible
yeah,
is a
and
first-hand account.
no,
The
the
book
Bible
where
cannot be a
Jesus is
firsthand account because we don't completely have the sources for who wrote the Bible.
Yes, we do. We have the sources, the names in the Bible. There's Matthew, Peter,
No,
John, all those names. Those are the people that wrote the
that's
Bible.
like
Those are the
saying
first-hand accounts.
that's like saying the Lord of the Rings must be true because Frodo is the one who wrote them down. We don't
No,
have
because that's a
an
movie.
account of Frodo ever existing. It's hard to prove a case with your case.
I know. I understand that. But those were people
But that's not first-hand
that
account. That's not historical still.
it is a first-hand account because there were people that wrote the Bible, and there
I'm not
were
saying you
people
don't.
that claimed to see it. So there's a claim in the Bible, the people that wrote the Bible. And they're telling the story on what happened, but they're telling it from what they saw.
Yeah,
They're
from
not
a
saying it,
biased
oh, this is
conclusive.
what
basis,
They're
but
not
that's
saying
where
like,
like
oh, this is what God put into my brain. This is what I'm going to do. They saw it and they wrote it down. They wrote it down in the way of a book would be read from a
yeah,
not
that's
from
it's
a.
a biased claim without a lot of substantiation, with a lack of evidence and no firsthand source of Jesus Christ. Like there's still no evidence. There's evidence of the Bible existing, and the evidence of the Bible existing also proclaims that Jesus existed. However, there's no firsthand accounts of Jesus or even historical like aspects of Jesus' existence. I think maybe
Okay,
there's
prove to me how Einstein existed. Like,
I'm
prove to
sorry.
me how. Prove how Einstein's existence, just like you want me to prove my Lord Jesus'
I can use
existence.
firsthand accounts. I believe Bohr, Neil Bohr or whatever his name was, saw Einstein. We have firsthand accounts of also Bohr existing.
He wrote. Did
As
he
well
write a
as we
book about
also
it?
we also have pictures of Einstein existing. We have historical data. We have signage that he actually put his signature onto documents. We have many sources for Einstein's existence, as well as written, recorded, and also substantiated data. We don't have that for Jesus Christ, though.
Okay, well, we have the covenant in my Bible.
Okay, but you cannot use the Bible to prove the Bible. That's like me saying, I have a can in my hand. The proof of my can is my hand. It's like your hand doesn't prove a can exists. It just means you could hold the can. You have to have
the can. If you're holding a can in your hand and you said the can exists, obviously the can exists because I'm looking right at it.
But if I have an empty hand and I say I have a can in my hand, the proof of the proof is my hand.
What, bro? That has nothing to do with that. I'm saying that
The symbolism of you trying to prove the existence of something with the existence of something else, like you like, what is it called? You cannot substantiate a claim based off of just the claim alone. This is just not possible. Or it's at least hello? Yeah. When you go out of the screen, your audio goes out. Like I said, you can't use a claim to substantiate the claim.
The Bible is written by multiple people. It's not necessarily a claim.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm saying that the source for Jesus Christ is not in the Bible. We do not have a first-hand source of Jesus, nor do we have a lot of historical documentation of Jesus existing outside the Bible. And we don't even think his name was Jesus if he did exist.
What are you talking about? Yes, we knew his name was Jesus.
No, even the Catholic Church admits that we don't think his name was Jesus. We just have now followed a scripture of conceiving that his name was Jesus based off of mistranslation over the course of
What do you think his name?
From what I've remembered, his name, like from what I've read, his name was like Yahshua or something.
Yahweh?
Yahshua. No, Yahweh is a god.
Yes, he has many names, I guess you could say,
that's
but the one we use most commonly.
Can't substantiate the claim of somebody who has multiple names, because now there's going to be multiple sources for his existence. That's not like
there's multiple ways to call. You can also say that. You can also say that for me. I can say
for his existence to believe that being gay is wrong under the Christian value.
Under the Christian value, being gay is wrong because a man and a woman
can't prove
are meant
to me
for
that
each
God
other.
Exists, or even Jesus existed.
Well, here's the thing. Just because I can't prove it to you doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like I'm a good Christian, I would say, but I obviously don't know the Bible inside and out.
It's up to you to make those claims and then be able to have proof for those claims. When you can't provide proof, then there's no reason for me to even believe the claim. Especially when I can make arguments against the claim.
But I want to go back to this. You don't believe in Jesus because in the New Testament we have stories from Jesus.
You're circling back. I just said you can't use a claim to prove.
I'm trying to prove to you that Jesus exists.
But you're using the Bible
I understand.
Again. That's not possible. We already went through
that. But the Bible wasn't wrote by one person. It was wrote by multiple people.
I'm not
saying
that is a fact. Like, I'm saying there's no first-hand account of Jesus existing in the Bible or outside the Bible.
Okay.
And you can't.
The Bible is built up of multiple books, okay? And there's all written by different people. And the claims of Jesus are in that Bible written by somebody who saw
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay, wait. Okay. I'm going to go back to the can analogy. I have a can in my hand. It's not there, but it is. I have a can in my hand, I promise. It's right in my hand. But if I have an empty hand and I say, no, I have a can in my hand, my proof is my hand. My hand is the one holding the can. So that's a proof. You can't use a claim to prove a claim. You have to have evidence of the claim. The evidence that I'm asking for would be a first-hand account, and you're not providing that. You're just going in circles.
I don't think a can has anything to do with this. I
I'm
understand
using
your.
it as
I know.
symbolic
Understand
argument. It's
your.
an analogy.
Understand your reference, but it
Then
just
you
doesn't have
understand why
anything to
it's
do
then you
with the
understand why
human
its
being.
relevancy is important to this argument, because I'm using an argument of hypothetical and also a symbolic argument and saying you cannot use your claim as the evidence for the claim. That would just circle back to a negative. That's not true.
Okay,
You
so when the
cannot use the
Romans.
Bible as proof for the proof of Jesus because
Okay,
there's no
then let's
outside claim
use.
that proves Jesus exists.
Okay, so let's use a reference from war times when
What?
Jerusalem. Hello, did you hear that?
War times.
You know, in war, the Romans invaded Jerusalem, and the Romans saw Jesus come
Okay,
from
what is your first-hand account? Can you tell me the claim so I can actually substantiate it?
the Romans. The Romans
The
themselves.
Romans
The
is not a
Romans.
claim. The Romans was a civilization that existed 2,000 years ago. Rome is a.
You want.
I'm looking for actual proof, written documentation that can actually be substantiated on a historical level. You're just telling me a claim without providing. Like, do you know what the difference between a claim and then having evidence for that claim is?
Yes, I understand what the
The
difference
claim
is.
is saying, hey, I have this thing and I now know it. And then the evidence for that would then be providing physical data, quantitative information about it that then can be easily seen, and then skeptics can see it, deduce it being factual. You're not giving me an actual evidence. You're just making claims. These claims could be proven if you provide evidence.
I understand where you're coming from. I guess you're right. Like, I can't necessarily use the Bible against an argument to prove that the Bible exists, but what I'm really using is I'm trying to prove Jesus existed. And I'm
Yeah.
proving that Jesus existed from the Bible that was written about. Think about it like this. If you see, since we're going to use a can, if you see a can on the table and I see it and I start writing about it and I start saying, I saw this can on the table, or not even I saw it, I'll just say, like, there's this can on the table. It got tipped over and all spilled on the ground. That is my witness. That is my proof. So the Bible is the people witnessing Jesus and writing it down and documenting it through proof.
Okay, so but that could, and you could be very well correct about that. But what if somebody comes later and says, well, we don't actually have evidence that he saw the can. Actually, we don't even know the can existed because there was no table. And on top of that, there was actually no cans like that in that place. Then it's easy to just deconstruct the argument, because if people can also prove it without having proof, then that's not evidence, right? You can write something down and say it's true, but you still need to substantiate that claim with hard evidence. And evidence would be factors like first-hand accounts, archaeological sites, information about the person, documentation, things like that. And we only have one documented claim, and I believe that's through only biblical understanding and also some other scriptures that surround the Abrahamic religion. But that is it, and that is still a claim without evidence. Very likely Jesus could be proven existent. However, we don't have the evidence right now, which makes me think that he didn't exist in the first place. And if he did exist, then we're just completely off of what we actually truly understand what Jesus' life was like. And in that case, the biblical account of Jesus would be inaccurate.
Okay, but in the Bible, they write that multiple people bore witness to this, and there's the
And again, I said we need evidence for that claim. That claim, the Bible again, is the claim. The claim has to be substantiated by evidence outside the Bible. If there's no evidence outside the Bible, then you cannot prove that that is real. You can only, it's a claim alone. And you could very well likely prove to me that it is real, but you don't have the evidence, which makes me not believe what you're saying.
Okay, well, I'm pretty certain that
You can
like the only thing I can think
I
about.
can inhale candy and sugar, but you know what? I don't think I can. You know,
I'm pretty certain though that there is proof on the earth. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. I might have to fact check this, but the tomb that Jesus died in still exists and still is there to this day.
Okay, why?
I don't
What's
know
your
where.
evidence for that?
My evidence for what? That the fact that the tomb exists, or that he died and he was resurrected in that
His
tomb.
tomb really did exist, and it was definitively his physical tomb and the one that he was resurrected from. Do you have?
Well, his tomb exists because we have geological
You're
proof.
making another claim without evidence. You're making a claim.
We have geological proof of the.
I'm not saying that there isn't a tomb. However, there's no definitive evidence that that was his tomb. Like, did that tomb say Jesus Christ on it? Did that tomb have any type of supernatural anything? I don't think it did. There's no proof that that was Jesus's tomb. That's just proof that that's a tomb. And tombs have existed since human beings have been burying their unalived.
So there's people that bore eyewitness to this. Yes, it was in the Bible, but I'm trying to steer away from the Bible because I understand.
You're making a claim.
Yes, but there's people that bore eyewitness and there's people that saw miracles.
You admitted to yourself you are just saying claims. If you do not have evidence, I have to drop you. You just keep making claims without evidence. You're not providing data, historical documentation. You're not giving me anything to look into myself to be able to actually say whether you are correct.
Okay, so I understand, and I just encourage that you.
I've done lots of research. I have read the Bible.
Okay, I understand. I don't want to take much of your time. I just want to say, like,
I appreciate you for coming up, man. You're respectful.
Yeah. Take your time. If you want to do this, if you ever feel like it, I want you to like, maybe just try, just prayer and just ask for something. And doesn't mean it's gonna be like if you ask for a sign, doesn't mean he's gonna show you something like or show you an angel, but it might be something in your life that he works out. And I just encourage you to pray about this.
But again, I don't have faith in religions, but I appreciate you for, telling me your perceptions of things, but you didn't prove to me why I should believe being gay is wrong. Again. Thank you so much for the follows, everyone. Thank you so much.
What's going on?
Okay, sorry, Braden. Apologize. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much for the follows, everyone. Much love. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone. Keep tapping that screen. We're just looking for the dates. Sorry about that, Braden. How are you doing? Braden? Hello?
Hello? Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, no problem. How old are you? Hello? Okay. We're just gonna go on to the next debate. I don't know why that. I don't know if you glitched out or I don't know what's happening there. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. We're just looking for some absolutely cool, insane debates. If you guys are willing to come up here and try and prove to me why it's wrong, I don't mind, but you gotta have evidence. And if you cannot support that evidence or back and claim, then, Hello, how old are you?
Yo,
I was a baby? We're not fetus deletus anyway. Hello, how old are you? Hey, how old are you?
Why do you want to know my age,
So I can substantiate that you are following the TikTok guidelines because people under the age of 18 can't come up here.
Oh, yeah, I'm 18 plus, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What year were you born?
What year? Shit, 2004.
I mean, okay, that was just bad math in general. Wait, okay,
So
that was just bad math. I don't know what else to say to that. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. We're just looking for some debates. If you are under the age of 18, please stay in the comments down below. Much love, much appreciation. Thank you so much. We're just looking for the new person to load into the queue. I wonder if I got a message back from my agency that I can do debates like this. Maybe, potentially. No, they didn't even message. But they're live right now, but they didn't message me back. Well, I feel so loved. I feel so protected. Thank you. This person's not loading it. We're just looking for some debates, everyone. Make sure your Wi-Fi connection's pretty strong before you come in here, because we're just looking for some absolutely awesome, cool debates, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in.
So you're gonna kick half the people who have something to say because
Are you a fetus?
what are you considering a fetus? Let me talk. Let me talk.
How old are you?
Let me talk. You believe that
Let me talk. Let me talk. Go back to fucking mommy. Sorry, that was mean. We're just looking for some debates. Hello, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Yeah, can you prove to me that being gay is wrong? Sorry.
Do you want to have gay intercourse?
Do I personally want to?
Yeah.
If I did, would that make it wrong?
No, well, I'm just asking a question.
Great! I won the debate, everyone! Yo! Hey! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Quickest debate I've ever had. God damn. You have to laugh at that. Come on. That was good. That was good. I mean, it was just like, I knew he was trying to trick me in a hypothetical, and I was just like, if I did. And he was like, no, it would. I was like, oh shit! I've been doing this for a long time. Anyways, I think I'm gonna take a break, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the love. If you want to follow in the next 20 seconds, appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go take a break. Probably do a live later, probably about God more than this, because this is kind of a heavy topic right now. Contentious. It's a contentious bone because gay. Anyway, women could be gay too. Anyway, we're just looking for. Oh no, we're not, because we're just ending. So if you want to follow in the next 35 seconds, much love, much appreciation. We're just about to take off. Thank you everyone for coming in here. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the following. I don't deserve any of you for this, but I appreciate you guys immensely. We'll be back tonight with a later debate. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.